Ask you a question. How is your mental health? I know a lot of us have suffered through some rough waters, and we don't often talk about it, certainly not enough. Well, this college athlete may change your mind about that.
Now, a former Ohio State lineman, tough on the field, is proving to be even tougher off of it. Not that he feels tough every day. In fact, many days he says it's just the opposite. His name? Harry Miller. His mission? To help buy time for someone else who doesn't feel they're worthy of it. Remember his tweet last March? Miller announced he was medically retiring from football. That's when we all learned what he was fighting in an arena outside the shoe. He wrote at the moment he told Coach Day that he intended to kill himself. He wrote of the help he immediately received and the moment he returned to the field, but this time with scars on his wrists and throat. He wrote, "Maybe the scars were hard to see with my wrist taped up. Maybe it was hard to see the scars through the bright colors of the television. Maybe the scars were hard to hear through all the talk shows and interviews. They're hard to see, and they're easy to hide, but they sure do hurt. There was a dead man on the television set, but nobody knew it. At the time, I would rather be dead than a coward. I'd rather be nothing at all than have to explain everything that was wrong. I was planning on being reduced to my initials on a sticker on the back of a helmet." But the Harry Miller you see today is far more than that, even if some people think he made a mistake to leave the field.
Some people might say, that guy should have toughed it out for a bit longer. This guy should have done this. He should have, sucked it up for X amount of money, for X amount of fame, for X amount of prestige, what have you. And again, if you want to call that a mistake, if you want to call that being a dumb young kid who doesn't know what he's doing, I'm fine with that. It's a mistake I would make a million times.
Miller says he's deeply appreciative of the people who've helped him and grateful for something we all might think we hate, mistakes. But he says the lessons and growth they give us are often exactly what we need.
I think when things are painful or when they hurt or when they're confusing, we're eager to label them a mistake. But if things go perfectly wrong or things hurt perfectly and things are going exactly as they should, even though as things should go, it sucks, I don't think you can call that a mistake. I think that's something divine about life. In retrospect, it's tremendous how many of your straight paths and slipped footings were actually perfect and precise.
At the end of the day, what he hopes most is that his words can do this.
It would be buying a person who needs time some more time. In my worst moments, it's incredible how a Bob Dylan song bought me 3 more minutes, how an excerpt from Jack Kerouac bought me another hour, and, if they want some ex-football player guy who, likes to talk, if that can buy somebody 10 more minutes listening to me up on my, stage and soapbox preaching about whatever, even if that's 10 minutes, like, this guy sucks, that's 10 more minutes, and hopefully it buys them time to encounter another 10 more minutes.
He says he often thinks of a phrase in Sanskrit, tatvamasi. It means, thou art that, because it reminds him of how connected we all are.
I think it's a beautiful phrase because every time I look at something beautiful and I don't feel beautiful, I can say, thou art that. I can look at the sunset. I can say, thou art that. And we're not so different. Reminds me of my realness. It's a beautiful mess, this whole business. So, but I'm good. And I'm glad you're good.
We're glad he's good. Miller wanted to be very clear about the fact that while some people look at him and they think, well, he's healed and he has it all figured out, he says, no, I don't. He still struggles, he says, with decision making. And in fact, he told us that he can't even make a decision about what to eat for dinner some nights without going to sleep wondering if that was the right decision. So he is still struggling, but he is determined to get out there and just remind us that one of the first steps is that we have to talk about it and we have to seek that help. And he knows that it's frightening, but that was the takeaway for him, just start.
He is so strong. And when he kept talking about 10 more minutes, if it could buy me 10 more minutes,
you just
get goosebumps.
With depression, with suicidal thoughts, sometimes it's just those minutes that you just go, you know how we say sometimes it's day by day? For some people, it's minute by minute.
He has a lot of courage and he's doing amazing things.
Yes.
Christi, thanks for that. Wow.